Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by for our weekly intel report for the 10th of May, 2023. Again, make sure you hit that notification bell. I know quite a few of you have said that you're subscribed, but you're not getting those notifications. Even people that are subscribed and have hit that notification bell and clicked the all setting still tell me sometimes that they don't get notified. Again, that is kind of due to the nature of the reporting that we're doing here. We are talking about some pretty hard topics, some pretty sensitive topics here, related to war and other, dramatic world events that are occurring. But nonetheless, if you check back on the channel, we are live about every week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also upload videos sporadically over the week. Our main headline this week is this situation in Ukraine. I know over the past few weeks we've been talking a lot about this Ukrainian counteroffensive, this spring counteroffensive, which is coming on the heels of that failed Russian winter offensive. They didn't gain that much ground in a lot of these areas. Either way, the Ukrainians now on the offensive in some of these areas here in the east of the country, especially around Bakhmut. They're making great progress there in recent days around Bakhmut. We have a few articles to go over this evening talking about that success they're having in those areas, in and around Bakhmut specifically. Ukrainian military unit said on Wednesday it had routed a Russian infantry brigade from frontline territory near Bakhmut, claiming to confirm an account by the head of Russia's Wagner private army that Russian forces had indeed fled. Later in the day, Colonel General Alexander Syrsky, who heads the Ukrainian ground forces, said Russian units in some parts of Bakhmut had retreated up to 2 kilometers, again, as I just reported just moments ago. The Wagner boss, Yevgeny Prigozhin, complained that his fighters were still not getting enough shells from the Defense Ministry. In an audio statement, he said the Defense Ministry, which has promised to ensure that all combat units have the resources they need, had been holding long meetings on the shell issue, but there had been no breakthrough. Quote, "We're not receiving enough shells. We're only getting 10%, Prigozhin said, according to Reuters. There's been a lot of this butting heads between the Wagner PMC and the Russian military proper, and the government proper for that matter, over supplies and all sorts of different issues, again, that they've been having in recent months here. The U.S. approves the first transfer of seized Russian funds to Ukraine. It says here, the Biden administration has sought increased powers to send seized assets from Russian sanctions evaders to aid Kyiv. United States Attorney General Merrick Garland has authorized the first transfer of funds seized from Russian oligarchs to aid Ukraine. In a statement on Wednesday, Garland said the money seized from Russian oligarch Konstantin Malayev, again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, thank you for bearing with my American pronunciation of these words, will go towards the war-torn country with which Russia invaded on, of course, the 24th of February back in 2022. That was kind of my first experiences with live-streamed combat, with live-streamed war unfolding in front of my eyes on the internet, was watching this unfold back in 2014 in Ukraine. And it's the direct reason why I'm bringing you guys this reporting now. Meanwhile, the French Parliament called on the European Union to formally label the Wagner Group as terrorists, as the UK reportedly prepares to do the same. France's parliament unanimously passed a non-binding resolution aimed at encouraging the 27 members of the EU to put Wagner on its official list of terrorist organizations. XO, good to see ya, says in the chat, did you hear the Chief Wagner is ordered to stay in Bakhmut or be labeled as a traitor? I had not heard that yet, but I will be looking into that. We've had a lot of conflicting reports, a lot of news about the PMC, about those Wagner mercenaries in recent days. There's a lot to go through, a lot to sift through here. In other news, Russian forces plan to evacuate more than 3,000 workers from the town that serves the occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. I know there's been a lot of information that's came out over the past 2 to 3 months here about that Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. We've had all sorts of conflicting reports about the status of the plant, what's going on in that area. We've also heard conflicting reports of explosives and munitions and all sorts of stuff being stored in and around that plant complex. Again, it's a very sticky situation, to say the least, to put it into blunt terms here. In and around that Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. Again, it's the largest nuclear power plant in all of Europe, for those that do not know. Sydney Pruden asks a great question, which I was actually going to cover at the end of the show. Says, I know it's asked every Wednesday, but what is going on with the Nemico rocket? Actually, really quickly, we'll just divert to that real quick. Show you guys here. I was going to cover this at the end of the show, but I guess I'll cover it now. This is the current status of the artillery. It's a 155mm howitzer with text. It's a video. Again, we did the fundraiser here about a month or two ago now. It's been quite a while. I heard back from them. I emailed them, actually, about last week or the week before. Basically saying, hey, you know, like, what's going on? What's the status on this? And they said it hadn't been sent to the front line, or that they had forgot to send the video over. So one of the people here at Sign My Rocket is apparently looking into it, and they're going to, again, find the video and get that over to us so we can start using it as our stream intro, because I've been super pumped to take a look at again, this footage here from Sign My Rocket, again, of that custom signed 155mm howitzer shell being fired on Russian positions in Ukraine. Again, the message on it says, Nemaco Network sends its regards to the Russian invaders. That was the winning selection on the vote that we put up, the poll on the YouTube community section. Tonight's poll question was, do you think the Ukrainians will be able to take back Bakhmut this summer? An overwhelming 77% of you says yes, they will be able to take back Bakhmut. 22% say no. Again, for those that don't know, I put out a poll a few weeks back, it might have been a month or two ago, basically asking, do you think Russia will be able to take Bakhmut, you know, within the next few months or something? And I think the majority of you at the time said yes. So we've gone a complete 180 since then. So just pretty interesting stuff there. I'm going to post that poll, those poll results, in the Situation Room on the Discord server. Anyway, guys, that about sums up tonight's live stream weekly report. Again, for the 10th of May, 2023. Again, we came at you guys a little bit late tonight, so apologies for that. But we will be back next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always, here on Nemaco Network.